Welcome to Living World of Darkness. This is a scene for the Changeling venue. Sam Phoenix has decided to go and visit the Hofsteins. They're a family of commoner trolls that have a very large lodge down in Manhattan, not too far away from home fires, actually. But the thing about them is that they are proudly commoner and have been even since the 70s. None of their number has ever gone into the houses or tried to get rank through there. This is a family of chieftains and thanes and chamberlains and so forth. Not of barons and knights and dukes and all that. But anyways, Sam Phoenix has a bit of a question to ask them. So we will take you to him now. He is entering the lodge, I take it?
I suppose so.
Okay, so you've been here before.
As I understood it, they wanted to talk to me as well, but I did conveniently have questions for them, so that works. Sam will approach the lodge, and in true Nordic fashion, he will allow himself to be seen rather than just walking up and going in. It sort of goes back to the old country and the old traditions. So he stands at a certain point and just waits to be acknowledged.
All right. Today you have the normal guy. You never have caught his name because he's definitely the strong and silent type. And in his human form, he looks just to be very, very tall and well built and so forth like that. It carries over to the troll form, but he's got the markings, the leather armor and all that stuff that have the markings of the Hofstein family. And he's got their tartan as well, we'll say, in his chimerical form. But you are entering into the dreaming end of this, so past that you're not going to see anybody else's human forms, just their fame names. Somebody's talking to him, though. A very, very tall woman. And in her human form, she still appears as quite tall. She's probably 5'9", 5'10", or something like that. In her troll form, of course, she is a lot taller. And she's taller than the guard. She turns, they both turn when they see you coming up. And she's the one that opens her mouth. Mr. Phoenix, then.
Sam smiles and bows. It's an honor to make your acquaintance, Miss
Agnes. Pleased to meet you. And she smiles. There's only so many trolls in the Kingdom of Apples. And you, of course, have been here several times, so come in. Follow me.
Thank you, I will. And
don't get lost.
Oh, I don't know if I could by now. It's like my second home. And I hope that my visit finds you well.
Oh, it does. I've just returned from Erie.
Oh.
But I've heard of you. It's been a while, actually, since a troll chrysalis around these parts. So happy to meet you.
Oh, thank you.
A grandfather told me quite a bit about you before he, well, we're trying to get him back. And she bites her lower lip. You've heard about grandfather?
I spoke to him yesterday. I met him. I met him after one of his friends had a bar mitzvah. What's wrong with grandfather?
Poor man is starting to forget himself. We'll see what we can do, but he is old. To be somewhat expected of Grumps. But no matter. We've got a shaman, so we'll see what we can do.
Sam will just looking somewhat sad himself. He will extend a hand and place it gently on her shoulder and give her a reassuring squeeze.
She smiles. Thank you. I was just saying we didn't have enough trolls around here. Right then, what can I help you with?
Well, and you can see that the news about Grandfather Hofstein has hit Sam rather hard. He seems to have lost his place at the moment. Some of his equilibrium is sort of faded away from him. Well, the other day that I saw Grandfather, he and I were discussing about various ways of me joining the family. One of which was the oath of adoption. The other was the possibility of speaking to the matchmakers and seeing if I could find an acceptable match.
Wait, are you talking about finding a wife or something?
And Sam sort of goes a little purple. Yes, if the idea does not...
He's losing his damn mind. That's not how it's done. That's some fucking she nonsense there. Excuse my language. God, I'm getting as bad as a knocker. No! You fall in love with somebody. You know, you save them or prove that you're worthy of being saved, or you setting up like some noble.
Well, well, as a matter of fact, I was made a knight a few months ago, and Sam just looks completely out of his element all of a sudden.
Wait, you're telling me there that you're Thane now of the house, and you didn't even swear oath of adoption to us or anything? How did that come about?
Well, Sam, all of a sudden, Sam looks rather uncomfortable, because he's afraid that he might unintentionally offend this poor woman that is just about to lose her grandfather or something.
She's a blunt creature, really curious about the whole thing, as clearly there's a lot that she's missed.
Perhaps we could sit down and...
Sure. I think that place looks good. And you see the waterfall that's falling outside of the massive log cabin. And it just falls along the side of the cabin. It doesn't seem to make a whole lot of sense with regards to basic physics. Anyways, I always did like it. And she goes and takes a seat by one of the boulders there.
Well, you see, it's like this, Agnes. grandfather Hofstein, um, Father Hofstein and Mother Hofstein initially didn't want. Well, I don't mean to say it like that, but they 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 were strictly being kind to me for kindness' sake, and it was only recently that grandfather Hofstein um, actually stated that he would be willing to um, adopt me as his son, and I had also asked about the idea of marrying into the family as a possibility. The thing is, I was rather nervous, um, and I'm I still have a lot that I don't fully understand. So the solid idea of adoption or otherwise has only recently come up. Yeah, I I don't claim to know what is in their minds.
All right then. I'm still a little bit confused.
About
You being, well,
about which?
are you a Thane or no?
Am I a thane? I beg your pardon.
Are you Thane to us? I don't know any other word to put it.
Uh,
Oh, that's right. You
family?
are a baby. I keep on forgetting that. I told you it's been an
Am
awful long
I?
time since we saw any new trolls. No, what I'm
Am
asking
I?
you
Am I?
is, are you pledged to us? Are you knighted to us? We don't say knighted. We don't
Well,
want to step on the sensitive noble toes.
well. Actually, there was an incident a while ago, and I assisted in said series of incidences. And I was formally knighted by uh, the the Princess Lenore
Oh,
as a result. Um, I I did not know that there was a style or a method of such as far as trolls or rather as far as troll society went. There's still a lot that I don't know.
and I could blame it all on grandfather. But his poor
Oh
mind might be going, so I won't.
well,
All right,
in,
here's the situation. I am what they call a rover. I
and
belong to the Knights of the Way,
hmm,
so I patrol all of Concordia, and recently it's been extended to these areas where I don't even know if they're Fomorians or not, but they're coming in and they're attacking these places, and good trolls and good commoners, even good she, are being attacked by them, and I and my kind try and keep the peace. So I may not be staying here long, or I may be staying here long. It depends on what the situation looks like. I will try and see what they mean about you marrying into the family, but honestly, every troll wants to be romanced. I'll
well,
tell you that. And I think every troll wants to romance someone.
well, and Sam again goes a little purple. I'm not adverse to. I'm not adverse to doing it. I didn't want to make anyone uncomfortable. You see.
You see a pretty girl, you write her letters. You sing songs to her. If it's some human, then you take them out to the movies too. And I don't know. I think they go to the movies. I don't know what else they do beyond that. But anyways, and you tell her how pretty she is and so forth, and you take long trips and vacations away with each other. That's how it's done. No
Well,
she nonsense or no satyr love 'em and leave 'em stuff for us.
well, that's not what Sam looks. He's trying to be delicate. Um, it it was made under it was made clear to me the other day that uh that the method that you're describing was the rare case, and that oftentimes a troll couple will join for a year or so, and then they tend to break apart after that. And so
Sounds
I
awfully she to me.
so I was I was fearing that I was, shall we say, the odd troll out, uh, because I do.
Do you know what the protectorate is?
uh, s- Slightly perhaps is.
It's another one of our societies, but unlike all the others, don't get scared off by the name. It's not bash them until they stop causing trouble, which of course I already told you I belong to the Rovers and I prefer that method. No, the
Okay.
protectorate. You know how young lovers tend to always be getting themselves into trouble and trying to kill things and kill each other, and it's a whole mess whenever young people fall in love.
Something like that. Yes.
It's awfully messy. The protectorate is to protect these people. That's simply what it is. Every troll loves a good romance. And don't you listen to those boggins or slua that tell you otherwise.
Well, as a matter of fact, before my unfortunate run-in with the dragon a few weeks ago, which resulted my which resulted in my um, sudden introduction to Grumpwood, and he sort of
You're a grump, are you?
um I was newly made a grump. You see, I
You're a young baby.
I
How did that happen?
uh, the wrong end of a dragon.
You were slain, were you?
I I was trying to protect a group of mermaids from being assaulted and
Well, that's rather
eaten,
noble and all that, but oh, oof.
and I hit the beast and I broke its shroud, but in the process, I was burned alive.
I see then.
Um,
You gotta be careful of that. It'll sneak up right on you.
Clearly,
And there's
but
no one doing it either.
oh,
All right, I'm telling you stuff you don't want to hear. You probably already know.
I wasn't sure about that. As a matter of fact,
No way that I know, and I've been a changeling these past, I think I chrysalis there when I was about 14, so math was never my strong suit. 10 years now. God, has it really been 10 years?
my understanding that a prolonged stay in the deep dreaming is said to help with such things.
Who told you that nonsense?
Uh, Sam just clams up because he doesn't want to.
You got to be watching that. People that say, "Oh, go to the deep dreaming. That'll solve everything. Go to the deep dreaming. Oh, they got the best stuff in the deep dreaming. Go hunting there." It's a very dangerous place. You ever been to the deep dreaming?
Yes.
So you know. It's a
Well,
bad place. I don't even know if it likes us anymore when we get that deep into it.
I went on a walkabout and I learned something about my past lives.
It's very
And
dangerous.
well, I needed to sort some things out. I
Oh,
have a I have a Fury coming up and an opportunity to join the Red Branch Knights.
the Red Branch Knights, really?
Yes.
That's a very honorable society.
So I've heard.
It was formed for the protection of the High King. Not that we got much of a High King right now, but
Yeah, I noticed that. But you know, I figure my job is to protect the kingdom and the people of Apples, and by extension, those within Concordia. So it and the idea of joining said order is just a wider brush, if you will, that would help me to be able to do that.
I have to say I'm impressed. Red Branch Knights. Do you know if there's any trolls already on it? I mean, I knew there was back in the day, but I haven't actually seen them since about 6 years ago. I guess I went to open court. I don't go every time.
Oh, well, I wouldn't know. I've only met one so far.
One that was a troll?
No, sorry. I've only met one member of the Red Branch Knights so far.
Now, take it that you mean some kind of she then.
She is a she, yes.
They like she and they like issue lately. I say lately, the last 6 years, but well, that's really impressive. Did you tell grandfather?
Well, yes. Actually, yesterday he was going about with me, handling some shopping in Krishny, and he introduced me to someone that would help me with my coat of arms once I pass my Fury.
Oh. Well, good on you. Good on you.
Well, thank you.
Hey, I got a little bit of gossip for you if you are looking for something to romance.
Oh?
And she kind of rolls her eyes at the silliness of it all.
Um,
You heard about these mermaids that are in the kingdom now?
Absolutely not. I would never even think of such a thing.
Why not? I thought that was their whole thing. They're like watery satyrs or something.
They're obnoxious, xenophobic, and incredibly sexist.
Oh. Well, that's disappointing.
They however, I can understand, especially right now, having been driven from their home waters, that they are especially vulnerable. But if I were to sum it up, the mermaids I have met thus far are aquatic Amazons.
Well, that sounds all right. All the other stuff you said, I don't know about that.
Well,
Oh, it was just a suggestion, though. Clearly, you've met them. Oh, that's right.
they,
You were talking about the dragon.
uh, they, they treat men like slaves. Men are property to them.
Do they really? Really?
Yes. Un, un, unless you would like me to roll, I'm just going to declare that Sam is quietly trying to get the measure of this woman.
We can just RP it out. I mean, you've seen that that she's pretty blunt. You don't
Yep.
get the impression that she's especially sneaky. But if you really wanted to roll perception empathy to see if you could glean anything extra, you could.
No, like, essentially what I'm looking for is, like, how she feels about this. Like, I'm sharing a bunch of stuff. So
Oh,
I'm...
in that case, I mean, she's being just based off her reactions, you can tell that she's interested. And that's what I will give you for not rolling.
Well,
But yeah, look, if you want, we can just RP it out.
I guess.
Okay. So anyway, she looks intrigued about all the information you gave her, and she goes, I guess. Honestly, I've always thought that a troll is the best for another troll. I know there's not a lot of us, but we tend to think the same or similar. We tend to think similar about a lot of things. The fact that we've even got something called the Protectorate should tell you a lot about how we view love.
Indeed. There were two orders that were especially of interest to me. Well, the one was especially of interest to me, and one was recommended by grandfather Hofstein. The order that I was initially interested in was the was the was the Brotherhood of Odin, or
Better than the Brotherhood of Thor.
or I'm sorry, I actually meant the Brotherhood of Thor, or yeah, Thor. Sorry.
I would advise against that if you're going into the Red Branch Knights. What do you know about the Brotherhood of Thor?
Essentially, they take all of the tenets of trolldom and use that to help as many people as they can, and that's the nutshell version.
They call themselves like a charitable society, I suppose would be the best. They band together and they help out other trolls and so forth.
Well, yeah,
But some of their methods have caught the attention of nobility, and the she that do recognize that name don't like the trolls that belong to it.
as I understand it, they help all Cathane. They help everyone, not just trolls. And
all right.
and
So
and
look, I will put it to you this way. I told you that I've only been around for about 10 years now.
Yes.
It's about 9.5 more years than you have. And since then, I've only seen one person come up publicly and say to everybody that I'm definitely a member of this group. And that is Duke Topaz down in the Kingdom of the Feathered Serpent. I hear that they've got like some kind of sway in the Parliament of Dreams and whatnot, but God, it's hard to pin them down. You're thinking about getting into the thick of the politics with this Red Branch Knight stuff. If you want to go and pursue the Brotherhood of Thor, I wouldn't do that together. I'd pick one or the other. You got to think like this. The Shi are very silly, and they're very flighty, and they complicate a lot of things that don't need to be complicated. But you joining the Red Branch Knights would mean that you play by their game, their rules.
You don't have a very high opinion of them at all, do you?
I don't hate them as much as I've seen other trolls hate them. But I hear the tales, and I've heard the tales from the Hofsteins, and I think that we were doing absolutely fine before they showed up. The 30s and the late 50s should have proven that to all the commoners. I don't see why they need to go scurrying back to the Shi as soon as they pop in.
Well, as I understand it, there was a rather substantial war, and from what I gather, we trolls tried to stem the bleeding, as it were, by being among the first to choose not to fight instead, because we didn't want to see any more unnecessary bloodshed.
That's what the majority of us did. You asked me my opinion, and that's just my opinion of the whole thing. It doesn't mean that, you know what, I said that we think really similar to each other. Maybe we don't. Maybe we do have these little differences. But
no, I'm just sharing with you what I've heard.
well, all right, that's my opinion. I think we were doing okay. I don't think they're as needed as they think they are, but I don't hate them like some of the other people I've heard talk about them. But yes, it's true. The majority of the trolls went to side with the Shi when they came back.
Though, unbeknownst to most Cathane, we follow a different, or I guess a subset of an honor system called the Code of Dogda.
Yes. Well, I'm glad you know about that.
That's something that Grandfather Hofstein taught me when I went to visit him.
Bring, bring, bring. Ah, shit. And you see her stare out past the lodge to the entrance of the freehold, and the ring is actually coming from the gray world reflection. It's a fucking cell phone. I didn't tell you what I did. I work construction.
Oh.
And construction in New York City, it's a job. But I'd better be getting to that. It's contract work, so it's easy enough to fire me if I don't show up for a day.
It was very nice to meet you, miss. And
Agnes, call me Agnes.
Sorry, we've only just met, Agnes, but it was very nice to meet you. And Sam will actually offer her a nearby flower.
See, you're getting the hang of it. Just give this to a lovely satyr, or preferably a troll. You'll be well on your way. You don't need anybody to fix you up.
I seem to have bad luck in the romance department.
What can you do?
I'll give you an example. If you don't mind, I can walk with you to your cell phone so you can call them back.
All right. Come on. Well, and you start walking past the log cabin and all that stuff.
Well, to put it in a nutshell, I have thusly, so far in my existence as a troll, I've felt the blossoming of something special, say, but either they vanish without any real trace, or they fall in love with my best friend, and of course they're also in love with them, so I choose to help them instead. And Sam just sort of looks sad after explaining that.
Very common story I hear from Law Troll.
Sad.
A lot of us wind up lonely. And I'm sorry, I will get back to you when I figure out how to fix that. Because I don't really know. Oh God, the banality. It shivers. She pretends as she picks up her cell phone. I do need to get going though.
It was very nice to meet you, Agnes, and I look forward to meeting you again. I should go and see how father and mother are holding up.
Yeah. Yeah, you do that. Bye. And
farewell.
with that, she smiles and starts to call the person back on her cell phone. We will end the scene here.
Sure.
Okay.